Brace yourself, One Piece fans. Big Mom has finally begun shrieking like a freaking Super Saiyan, and it's gonna segue us directly into a flashback arc. The bloody wedding continues in another chaotic and explosive episode, which is filled with all sorts of really cool imagery. This entire episode is essentially a build-up to Luffy showing Big Mom the broken picture of Mother Carmel so that she'll go insane. And it happens. And it's nuts. In fact, I would say it's done a lot better than the manga version. This is one of those scenes that the anime really tends to elevate, if only for the fact that the visuals are accompanied by a lot of really crazy music, this like weird purple lightning, everything gets all distorted. It really shows that Big Mom is not your normal, average, everyday pirate. She is quite literally a force of nature. And this force of nature is going to take us into a flashback which is all about her life, which they actually do show in the preview for the next episode, and I kind of wish they didn't, as it gives us our very first look at Big Mom as a child, and I think she looks even scarier when she's a child, personally. But this episode was certainly a case for why she's so incredibly disturbing. It's also an excuse to see our characters just do a lot of cool shit, like Brook fighting against Oven. It's perfect because Oven's powers are based around fire and heat. Brook, of course, uses an ice sword. It's a fire versus ice battle, and there's a lot of things that Brook does in this episode which are just awesome, and it makes me wish they would utilize him just a little bit more, because he can be a really funny character, but when he wants to be badass, he can do it. And considering that he's a goofy, lanky skeleton with an afro that shouldn't look badass when he does things, that's a big accomplishment. When he pulls out that sword against frickin' Oven in this episode, it looked so awesome. I love that they can actually give expression to a character who shouldn't have that much expression. It was great. And Oven is also really cool when he starts to heat up and he turns this like weird neon orange color. I never imagined it that way in the manga, but now it's just the definitive way that I actually see Oven. You still have Sanji, who's battling against Daifuku and his belly button genie, which is still mostly the same, and it mostly serves as to add some tense drama to the episode when Sanji is desperately trying to save his family, but Daifuku keeps managing to stop him. But by the end of the episode, he does this really awesome big fire kick, which breaks the table, shattering all of the candy and releasing his family. And at least this triumphant scene of him standing on top of the table while his legs are on fire, and even in that moment, even though his father doesn't even say anything, you can tell that he's like, yeah, I'm actually proud of my son, but I'm never going to admit it out loud. It's a great moment, too, because Sanji's also establishing that, like, I don't need you guys. I want nothing to do with you. And look, I have my own power, my own abilities. I'm going to carve out my very own destiny. It's just a really great scene right there. And man, Perospero and his group are so stupid for not just shooting them immediately. I swear they hold guns to their head for like 5 minutes in this episode. It's mostly because of the fact that, you know, time has essentially stood still at this moment. Only like a couple of minutes have gone by. We're on planet Namek time, guys. The planet's going to explode in 5 minutes, but it might take 20 freaking episodes to actually get there. It's kind of unbelievable and ridiculous in the world of One Piece. The good news is there's enough characters around to see a lot of really cool imagery. I especially loved watching Capone Beiji and freaking Pedro and Jinbei going up against Katakuri. What I really loved about it is that Katakuri is essentially the T-1000 from Terminator 2. Whenever they shoot stuff, he just absorbs it into his body, and then slowly the bullets start to, like, come out. It's really awesome. It's also funny because Beiji shoots him, like, 1,000 times, and it never really does anything, but it certainly works as a pretty good distraction against this guy, who's really creepy, and I love the way he moves, where he partially transforms his body into the mochi, and just, like, swims around. He actually, like, sort of swims around the landscape, and even manages to get the slip on Luffy, but Luffy just stretches his arm to show Big Mom that picture, and that's when all hell breaks loose, where she starts screaming and going crazy. And like I said, it's all just a segue into this brand new flashback arc, which is going to be coming. But it is some really important stuff, and something that I really want to see in the anime version, is I can't wait to see what sort of tone they're actually going to go with. All I know is, guys, you don't want to miss it. What I will say is, though, that this episode was pretty good, despite the fact that it was very slow and very little happened. It was basically just a lot of weird people fighting, like Sanji beating up on a ton of disproportionate bodied people. I think he fought against a dude who looked like Captain Crunch in this episode. Just pure insanity, but really that's what One Piece is all about. Yes, the pacing is still incredibly off and honestly is kind of annoying at times, but it didn't really deter my enjoyment of this episode at all. In fact, I really got a lot of things about it that I liked. I'm actually enjoying this more than when I was reading it in the manga. A lot of it is probably due to just how incredibly crazy everything is. It's just nuts. I expect crazy things from One Piece, and when it happens, I'm a pretty satisfied guy. That being said, the episode wasn't perfect. There was some animation and artwork which looked kinda bad, but for the most part, this was a solid addition to the series, and a great build-up and segue into Big Mom's flashback. So I'm giving this one right here a 4 out of 5. You guys should check it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it, and you can tell me all of them in the comment section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of this arc of the One Piece anime series. Thank you guys for watching this review. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay damn down, baby.